The deadline to apply for FEMA benefits stemming from Hurricanes Helene and Milton is now less than 6 hours away. If you didn't make it to one of the area's disaster recovery centers, you can apply now by phone or online. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser spoke with some last-minute applicants and explains why FEMA says even those who don't think they're ready to apply should consider doing so anyway.
Well, after 3 months, FEMA says this is it. Its multi-agency resource centers and disaster relief centers will be closing, and the opportunity to register for benefits online or by phone ends at midnight.
Figure I could come here and talk to somebody that way. It would expedite everything a little faster.
Alfonso Boone knew that today was the last day to apply for FEMA benefits and didn't want to miss the deadline. So he came to the Disaster Recovery Center in Tampa, like others, frustrated by the process.
I've been waiting 2 months. 2 months for getting an inspector out. So I decided to come down here and see that I could speed it up a little bit.
Disaster recovery centers around Tampa Bay were packed today with last-minute applicants, some procrastinators, but others said that they had waited as long as they could to get paperwork from insurance adjusters, inspectors, and others to complete the process.
I did have delays because I'm in here talking about Helene. So that happened in September. So yeah, it's been kind of frustrating.
FEMA says it understands that people want to maximize their potential benefit and say there will be time for that, but you first have to be in the system before midnight.
Once their name is in the system, we'll go through the process with them, but you just have to start the initial application so we can get through it. You don't need everything up front to start.
With just hours to go at this multi-agency relief center on Gandy Boulevard, cars were still lining up. People not yet fully recovered, concerned about where they'll turn now for water, food, and blue tarps for their roofs.
I understand there has to be a time, but there's so many people here in Tampa, and people still need the resources to get back on your feet.
There are a handful of exceptions. For example, FEMA says if someone can show that they were experiencing debilitating illness, had to live out of state, couldn't get into their home to access records, or were still waiting on certain insurance determinations, they might be eligible for benefits beyond midnight. But those applicants will have to apply for that extension and provide proof to justify it. In Tampa, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
Some of the local FEMA disaster recovery centers will remain open for a few days beyond the midnight deadline. However, those representatives will be there to help people who are told to come back with certain items to complete their applications. They say they will not be accepting new applicants. For more information on how to apply and what to include before tonight's deadline, you can download our free 10 Tampa Bay app.